My ex refused to move out of my house after our breakup, so I packed her life where she'd never find it. Breaking up with someone is hard enough without them squatting in your house like a barnacle with separation anxiety. My ex Rachel turned, "I need time to find a place," into a year-long hostage situation. And I don't mean that metaphorically. She literally held my life hostage with manipulation, lies, and enough hoarded junk to film an episode of Buried Alive. It started simple. When I told her we were done, she cried and said she just needed a few weeks to get back on her feet. Fair enough, I'm not heartless. But weeks turned into months. First it was, the rental market is crazy right now. Then, my credit score needs work. Then, I can't afford deposits until my tax refund. Each excuse came with tears, each delay with a new pile of Amazon boxes she'd stack in the garage. By month 3, her temporary stuff had colonized the guest room, both hall closets and half the basement. She bought a label maker and started marking shelves like she was establishing sovereignty. The manipulation escalated. She'd cook elaborate dinners on nights I worked late and text photos of the table set for 2. When I'd come home and ignore it, she'd sob about how I was emotionally abusing her by not appreciating her efforts. She started documenting everything in a notebook, every conversation, every time I raised my voice, every supposedly hostile gesture. Just in case, she'd say, tapping the cover. By month 6, she was parking her car in the garage without asking, had her mail forwarded to my address, and was telling the neighbors we were working through things. Mrs. Miller next door asked when the wedding was. I wanted to scream. Month 9, she got bold. She started redecorating and threw out my coffee table because it didn't match her vision. She hung her deceased grandmother's portrait in the living room and said it was non-negotiable. The hoarding hit critical mass with craft supplies and exercise equipment she never used, and bins of fabric for projects she'd never start. My home looked like a Hobby Lobby had explosive diarrhea. I tried being firm. "Rachel, you need to leave by the end of the month." She'd nod and agree, then suddenly develop mysterious illnesses that required bed rest. After a full year of living in her personal landfill, I finally hit my limit. I sat her down and laid it out straight. "This ends now. I'll pay for movers. I'll help you pack. But you're gone by Friday." She smiled. Not her fake victim smile, but something cold. "Actually, I'm not going anywhere." She pulled out her phone and showed me screenshots of texts where I'd been short with her and photos of her crying. "I've documented a year of domestic abuse, emotional terrorism, financial control. Try to evict me, and I'll file a restraining order against you in your own home." She leaned back, satisfied. Then she said, "I like it here. I'm staying indefinitely." That weekend, she left for her annual girls' trip to Vegas. 2 days, 48 hours. I knew what I had to do. I didn't sleep for those 2 days. I became a moving machine fueled by rage and Red Bull, rented the biggest truck they had, got a storage unit across town, and went to work. But here's where I got creative. I didn't just move her stuff. I moved it strategically. Her laptop, the one she needed for her job, went in first, shoved all the way to the back corner. Then her work clothes, the ones she'd need immediately when she got back. Everything she'd need in the next week went in first, trapped behind a Tetris wall of her own hoarding. The real artistry came in the packing. I wrapped her grandmother's portrait in her exercise clothes, stuffed her labeled containers with mismatched holiday decorations, mixed her important documents bin with her craft supplies. By hour 36, that storage unit looked like a 10 by 10 game of Jenga designed by Satan himself. You'd need an archaeology degree and a forklift to find anything useful. She came home Sunday night to empty rooms and a storage unit key on the counter. The rage was beautiful. She called the cops, and 6 of them showed up. But when I explained the situation, showed them receipts for the storage unit I'd graciously paid for 6 months in advance, they shrugged. Civil matter. She screamed about her laptop, her work clothes, her grandmother's portrait. I suggested she check the storage unit. "It's all there," I said. Every single thing. She spent 5 days excavating that unit to find her laptop, missed 3 client deadlines, lost a major account, had to buy new clothes for work because she couldn't find her professional wardrobe. The best part? The storage unit was in her name, but the credit card on file was linked to my account, the one I canceled the day after she retrieved her laptop. She missed 2 payments before they locked her out. Last I heard, they auctioned everything, even grandma's portrait. Funny how indefinitely turned into about 6 months after all.